Hey everybody, welcome here to Musicians Edition. I'm Evan, and on the guitar today we're going to be talking about the circle of fifths. So obviously on guitar we don't focus so much on theory as you might on the other instruments like piano, but I did just recently put up a piano or really more theory-based video that really covers everything about the circle of fifths. But for guitar, we're just going to focus on a key application we can use it for without diving too much into the theory backstory of it. We can just look at this picture and we're going to have a really great use of it, of very quickly being able to know all the common chords in a given key for us. So if we ever notice the key that a song is in and we like it and we want to play around with it, or we're just doing improv and pick a certain key and we want to really quickly find those chords we can move between, or if you play in a band and you have your bandmates telling you they want you to play in a certain key for this song that they want or whatever it is, you can very quickly find the most common chords in that key just by very quickly looking at this picture of the circle of fifths. So there is a lot more behind the circle of fifths for those interested in theory, and if you do want to learn more about that, go ahead and check out the video we just recently put up on it. But for those guitarists who don't care so much about that theory backing or just want to get to the application of this, we're going to go ahead and do that very quickly by just looking at this picture and seeing how we can use it. All right, and here is our picture of the circle of fifths. So, a big circle with all the different letters, some flats, some sharps on there. You can see minors on the inside. Really what we're looking at is on the outer end of the circle, those are all major scales, major keys, major chords, whatever. Those are all your majors. And on the inside, you have all the minors with the little M next to them. You can see the way we're going to use this is we're going to use that box that's at the top. So with that box, it's going to shift around depending on what key we're actually playing in. So right now it's in the position of C major or the A minor scale. If you're familiar with those two scales and a little bit of theory, you'll know that those two are relatives. They are a relative minor and a relative major because they both share the same key signature, or they share the same set of notes that makes up those scales. So C major and A minor scales or keys, they use all the same chords, they use all the same notes. So this box of chords is going to apply to both of them. So if we're playing in C major or A minor, either or, 6 very common chords that we can be able to play around in and know we're staying in key are the ones in that box. We have F major, C major, G major. That's actually our 1, 4, and 5 chords, which are the most common chords. And then we have D minor, A minor, and E minor. So all together here, we've got a group of 6 chords that we can use. Again, the 6 most common chords in these scales, both C major and A minor. And we can play around with those to fit with our band as we're coming up with chords, as we're improvising by ourselves, or jamming along to a song, or whatever it is. Very easy. And all we do for whatever key we're actually playing in, if it's not C major or A minor, is we just shift this box over. But let's just look really quick. So let's say we are playing in C major. We figure out the box of our 6 chords. Let's go ahead and just find them on the guitar. And so you're going to want to have a decent backing and just knowing where the notes are on your guitar, or chord shapes, or if not, you might need the help of another diagram. But going through this, you always want to find the one, the tonic, the chord that the key is named after first. So C major here. Where can you find a C major chord at? You have a few options. You can play it as the caged cowboy chord, or you can play it as a bar chord. Your bar chord is going to be up on the 8th fret, and that's 2 ways we can play the C major chord. Let's look at finding some of these other ones. Where can you play a G major chord? You can play it open cowboy chord, or you can bar it. F chord, we can play that down here as well too. A minor we can find, open cowboy, or we can bar it on the 5th fret. E minor, we can play openly here. You can also find this one barred, not quite as common there, but we got options. And the last one, D minor, you should know down here is one of our caged or cowboy chords. We can also bar it up here. And now, depending on where you want to play on the guitar, if you want to stay down here for more of your caged or cowboy chords, you got all your options there. If you want to play further up the neck and bar your chords, you got options up there as well too. But as long as you know what these chords are and how to find them, you've got the 6 most common chords in whatever scale you might be playing in right at your fingertips just by looking at this circle of fifths picture. So the idea is you've got those 6 most common chords. You're going to start at the chord that the key is named after, so C major, and then let's find some of those other chord shapes and find some chords and put them together that I like. So I can go C to G to F, and then finish on maybe E minor. And now I've got a progression by just picking 4 out of the 6 chord options that I had here, and that's really how this works if you're improvising or jamming along or whatever. And so if we are in another key other than C major or A minor, which we obviously very commonly are, we just shift our box. So let's go ahead. If we were playing in D major or B minor, for example, our box would be over here, covering these 6 chords: G major, D major, A major, E minor, B minor, F sharp minor. So those are our 6 most common chord options if we are playing in either of those scales. And whatever key you're looking for, you just go ahead and find it. Again, majors on the outside, minors on the inside. Any standard major or minor key you're looking for is going to be listed here. Just don't get confused by flats versus sharps. If you're looking for example, an A sharp, just remember that A sharp is also the same as a B flat, and vice versa, you know, flats versus sharps, so make sure you are familiar with those, because you might be stuck looking for that A sharp major key, for example, which you won't actually find on here, but you will find a B flat major key. And again, those are the same exact notes, same exact keys. So just keep that in mind. But again, all you're doing here, you're circling your key that you're playing in, and you're drawing that box around it to find those 6 most common chords, and you are on your way from there. All right, and that is it. So as long as you've got this picture handy, you can find those 6 most common chords. That gives you a good amount of options to play around in within that key, and confidently know that you are staying within the key without creating any dissonance with yourself or with your bandmates. So that is our key application here as rhythm guitarists, those that strum along to chords a lot, without getting so much into the theory side of it. If you do want to know more, because there are a lot more kind of secrets and applications to the circle of fifths, go ahead and check out our other video on it. We dive deeply more into the theory side, touching a bit on piano, but if you're not interested in that, you'll still get the grip of everything theory-based. It is possible to memorize this circle, and it's really not that difficult. It's just one acronym you really need to remember that kind of dictates the placement of everything in this circle. So if you want to be able to just think and picture the circle in your head without having it handy to be able to do this trick, go ahead and check out our other video to learn how to do that. It's just some practice remembering a certain acronym and writing it down, and you're really on your way there. But yeah, go ahead and print this out. Go ahead and use it to your advantage to find those common chords. As you do get more practice with it, you'll kind of figure out the pattern of where those chords are in relation to your tonic or the chord that the key is named after. And I think this will come really quick and in handy for all you guys. So have fun playing, jamming along to those chords, and we will see you next time.